This video is about setting up your Destiny board for the June 30th patch so that you get as many freebies as possible. And before I show you my Destiny board and talk about it and how much that I've spent setting it up and what's good to do, what's not good to do, because it is a learning experience, let me just clear a few things so that people understand what I'm talking about. First and foremost, if you have not seen this video, check it out. It's called SBI is Giving Out Free Fame. Here's how it works. This was originally intended to be under the table for members only until like 3 days before, because the markets will be absolutely gutted from this news. But Retro Man, told the world in a video, and a lot of you guys don't even know who Retro Man is. Okay, so Retro Man on the official Albion Online YouTube channel, it's this guy here. He's the co-creative director. He's also the balance patch guy that does like all of that kind of stuff. Let me show you. On the Albion forums, this is his icon. It's like the little Gradius ship. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but yeah, Retro Man. When I say Retro Man, that is who I'm talking about. I'm talking about this guy right here in the official Albion Online YouTube channel, okay? So when you guys are telling me, who is Retro Man? What's his YouTube channel? Bro, it's the official channel. Anyway, let's get into the video. So to get my Destiny board where I want it, it took me 7 hours and 150 million silver. And just real quick, I'm going to just kind of show you what this looks like. So you'll notice that whenever I scroll up on the Curse Staff tree, everyone knows that I play Curse Staff. You'll notice all of the nodes are 99, well, except Rock Collar because it's a crystal weapon, and Rock Collar doesn't really give you much of a bonus. I don't even like the Rock Collar. There's no reason for me to level it. Yeah, so there you go. And then I have another weapon here, 99, another one, 99. Now, you'll notice this one's 120. It is not worth it to spec back down to get to below 99. You're just throwing money and fame away, because you lose fame doing this, but you're going to gain more of it back when the reward happens. So you'll notice any weapons that I had over 100, like these are all 108, I did not spec down to 99, but everything I didn't, I just knocked it down to 99, and then I used tomes to level it up to that 20% mark, so that on patch day, it will then complete. And again, I did this for everything on my combat board. I didn't do it for offhands, but I did it for armors, weapons, everything, right? And so here, just real quick, are some numbers, and I'm just going to scroll through this. I don't know why you would need this info, but here's each tree, how many learning points that I am effectively going to be getting for free. You don't receive the learning points. It's as if it spent the learning points for free to earn you this amount of fame. So in the Curse Tree, when on patch day, I am effectively getting 5.7 million free fame, alright? So you can see here in all the different trees, Arcane, Holy, I don't really play Holy, lots of fire spec there, cloth armor, boots. Again, these numbers add up pretty crazy. I'm just going to scroll through and get to the good juicy bits. This is all just for, data keeping, alright? So here's the total. In just combat, 5,236 learning points, which equates to 110,233,223 fame. And I used AI to add these up, so there might be a discrepancy in the numbers, but the AI I'm using is usually trustworthy, so again, these numbers could be wrong. Alright, so here is more data. So 33% of all armor nodes shared a weapon node. So what does that mean? That means whenever you use Tomes of Insight, you want to have a helmet, an armor piece, a boot, and a weapon, and preferably an offhanded if it's a one-handed weapon, to min-max your combat fame credits, okay? So that means 33% of all the weapons that I leveled up shared armor, boots, and helmet nodes. But the thing is, there's way more weapon nodes than there are combined armor and just armor nodes in general. There's more weapons and armor, so eventually you max out all the armors, and you're still left with weapons to level. This is why I have always calculated 1 combat fame credit equals 2 fame in my videos. Anyway, so at this point, I used 1,554 Tomes of Insight, and I paid 22,500 silver each. Alright, this cost me 34.9 million silver. Each tome cost, also, every time I used a tome, it cost 9,248 silver for the auto respec cost. Alright, and so this ended up costing 14.3 million. 55 weapon respec costs. So every time I respec a weapon, it costs, like 475,066 silver. And so the chest boots and helmet respec costs were this. And then this, the total spent so far was 84 million silver. Estimated, it's not exact. These numbers are way too hard to be exact with. But essentially, out of all of this, it took me about, I think, 1 hour to do. And it earned 43.5 million combat fame credits, which you may be saying, if you know some math, that's not worth the silver. It's actually better just to go out and grind. Well, I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that real quick. All right, so the amount of fame credits that I'd have to spend to match the 110 million free fame that I got, you know, factoring in that 1 combat fame credit is 2 fame to weapons, 4 to armor, and 8 to helmet and boots. And I didn't do offhand, so it doesn't matter. So that would be another 42.99 million combat fame credits that I'm effectively getting for free on the 30th for the patch. So this means that all of this effort equates to 86.5 million combat fame credits. All right. And this would take 15 hours of Black Zone grinding with the satchel and with auto respec active. All right, so now obviously I'm not going to use an 8.4 satchel. That would increase the time dramatically. But with a tier 6 satchel, in a tier 8 quality 5 Black Zone, and with premium active against a regular non-enchanted mob, you will receive 28,355 fame, and that becomes 45,369 combat fame credits, and that will cost you a lot. The auto respec cost and the satchel cost combined is 65,734 silver. That means, yes, every single Black Zone mob that I kill costs me 65,734 silver. It's worth it. It levels you up super fast. It's totally worth it. Anyway, so it's about 1.45 silver per combat fame credit earned. All right. So instead of grinding Black Zone for 15 hours, this would if I did grind Black Zone for 15 hours, this would cost me 125,513,723 silver, which is quite a bit, right? So we're using the June 30th patch freebies for maximum efficiency on time, not money. Let me explain. So on the flip side here, I could have just if I didn't unspec everything down to 99 that I had, I could have just grinded 7.5 hours, spending 62.7 million silver, which is 24 million cheaper than what I spent respecking and on the tomes and stuff, okay? And the thing is, though, I did it in 1 hour. I got all of this results in 1 hour and not 7.5 hours. And to me, saving 6.5 hours a time is absolutely worth 24 million silver to me, because I generate a lot of silver through a lot of different things. So if you're broke, if you're broke, don't respec your combat to 99 and buy tomes. Don't do it. And by the time you watch this video, tomes are probably going to be 30k. I don't know how high they're going to get. It really depends on how much the whales are whaling to prepare for the freebies. There's no telling, and every server is different, okay? But again, if you are broke and you don't have billions of silver sitting around, then you're better off just grinding for the combat fame credits and not specking out of anything for the freebies. All right, but for everyone else, 24 million silver to save 14 hours of grinding is huge. It's massive. It is insanely good. So now let me talk about crafting. All right, so I don't have text for crafting. You don't have to read anything. I'm just going to show you. Starting off down here, we're not going to worry about growing things or chef or stuff, because I don't know if these will click over when the patch hits, and there's not enough days to really pump these numbers up anyway. I don't care, okay? But I did pump up, you'll notice, Fiber Harvester. It's not learned yet, but I have it. Oh, wait, wrong thing. Never mind. Elder Fiber Weaver. This is refining. All right, now, you'll note that at the start of the video, I said I spent 150 million silver. I am slowly getting that silver back. Right now, I'm up to 25.5 million. So that 150 million silver is actually 124.5, I believe, if I did the math right on that. And again, it's still going up because I'm still selling through all the materials that I had to spend on leveling all this stuff up. So we have refining. That's 942 learning points. We have another one, ore smelter, 951 learning points, and 985 learning points here. Now, throughout the 5 years I've played this character, he just naturally refined his way to Elder Wood. It's unlocked, but he's never actually refined to Tier 8 Wood. And then Stonecutter, there was there was an interesting patch one time where you could refine stone a certain way. I'm not going to say more than that because SBI will literally kill me if I tell you. Anyway, that's why it's level 31. Enough about that, though, okay? So now you'll notice that we have all of the crafting... I'm sorry, all of the gathering gear, bags, siege equipment, and so on. Like, everything is ready, okay? Now, you may be thinking, well, this isn't ready because this won't level you to number 3. I don't care about leveling this at all because I'm probably never going to do it, right? What I care about is just having every single node lit up because when the patch hits... You want all of these to have to be lit up so that you can start working towards the new journal achievements and journal rewards for those cool looking skins. All right. So you'll notice here that we have like harvester, work boots, harvester garb, blah, blah, blah. Like every single one of these is pushed beyond this 20% line. All right. And it's not a lot of learning points. Like this is 3 learning points. This is 3. This is 5, 3, 3, 3, so on and so forth. Right. This gear, it's not that expensive, okay? Here, like, cape is already unlocked, bag already unlocked, bag tailoring specialist, whatever. The siege banner stuff and the siege hammer. These were rarely worth it on, like, tool bonus days, and whenever guilds are mass buying up all the hammers. You can flip these for a profit, but... it really depends on guild activity and how much hand-holding there is. Anyway, now we get to the actual gear. So at first we have the Mage Tower Crafter, we have the Hunter Lodge Crafter, and the Warrior Forge Crafter. And that video that I showed you at the start of this video teaches you everything that you need to buy and craft and study so that you can min-max and not spend as much silver getting all these nodes lit up and unlocked. But for crafting, like for offhands, it's just like 3 learning points each, right? And now, what is this one? This is for weapons. This is the Cursed Staff weapon line. 10, 10, 9, 9, 11, 10, right? 10, and 11. So basically, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 days worth of learning points. All right, and then, you know, next up, that's another 8 days worth of learning points. Now, for the Arcane Staff, I had to be a crafter just to have the Astral Staff on the very first day the materials were available. So I leveled the hell out of this. Also... For those that don't know, whenever you want to awaken a weapon, by having high specialization in the weapon's crafting, it lowers the focus cost of awakening the weapon, which gives you more crits and makes it cheaper and faster to awaken and get good stats. All right, so these are all pretty pumped up. All right, so, but that's 37, 2, 12, 2, 8, 11, 4, 13. Right, so that's a lot of learning points already. All right, and then we go to more weapons. Again, I don't need to click all these to show you that they are all filled out and ready to go. Like, every single one of these nodes is filled out and ready to go. We got the fire staffs, the cloth cows, the cloth robe, the cloth sandals, like just picking a random one, boom, right? Now, boots and helmets, also very low learning point threshold. You can see these are only 3, but we get to the offhands also 1 to 3. And then, again, weapons, though, are 9 to 11. Oh man, this one was expensive. The shapeshifter crafting, like each one of these was like a couple $100K just to push to 20%, right? So think of it like saving money, right? If you were to not use learning points and just study a weapon like the light collar, you know, weapon to 100% just to get the node lit up, that's like that's a million silver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 million silver. Instead, I spent 2, 4, 6, 8, 1. I spent 1.4 million to light up all the nodes rather than, you know, 1 million silver per node. I want you to understand just how much money you're saving doing this, right? And again, you don't have to, if you're never going to craft these things, or you're not a completionist, or you don't want to get those cool skins coming up in the new journal entries, you don't have to do this. But if you do want those rewards, then you have to do this, and you have to do this before June 30th. And the longer that you dawdle, the more expensive this stuff's going to get. And let me tell you why. All right. So like look at crossbows. All right? I'm pretty good at crafting some bolt casters, okay? But like the Arclight blasters, not a lot of people are crafting these because they are absolute garbage. And the people that are crafting them at a higher enchantment rate, so they're charging way more. So if just a handful of people buy these from the markets and then study them, which breaks the weapon and removes it from the game forever, so that they can light up this little node, and then everyone has bought out all the Arclight crystals, which are going to, you know, raise up in price in the coming days, yada, 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 there's not going to be any Arclight blasters left to study, to go around. So what you'll have to do is you'll have to level up your crossbow crafting to unlock tier 5 and tier 6, and then try to buy those arc light blasters to study to get that mastery going. And that's just going to cost you more money and more headaches, and you're not going to see more of these pop up until the end of the next guild season. All right, so the sooner you do this, the better. But again, you need money. Like Force Pulse bracers, you know, that's another one that's going to cost you. Every single crystal weapon, and also like the Avalonian weapons, are pretty expensive too to study. Of course, you know, you could just kind of chip away at it. Something is better than nothing. So if you're broke, or you're watching this too late, close to June 30th, then just do your common weapons like Mace, Heavy Mace, Morningstar. Those don't take any special ingredients to make. Just regular materials that aren't going to run out, okay? So yeah, just level those up and then save the rest for a rainy day or for something similar to happen, like a Fame Week or something, right? But yeah, we have every single one of these leveled up to the point where they will all light up on June 30th. It's going to be magnificent. It's going to be great. All right, all of these are lighting up, and then all of these that are stuck at 99 in the combat tree, like all these boots are sitting at 99. And yeah, it sucks. It sucks because whenever you put on gear, you know, you want to have that shiny metal, right? Like when I put on a Flamewalker staff, it's 120 spec. And so you see the big, bright, you know, platinum, blue, white star. People fear this. They're like, oh crap, that guy's serious, right? And but when I put on a light crossbow, they see this little silver metal, and they're like, ew, new player alert, let's gank them. So you're kind of hiding your power level a little bit, I guess, right? But also, completely unrelated to this video, get your damn Astral Staffs awakened. Get them awakened with Mob Fame and HP. You're going to want this for Orange Zones. This is the best in slot Fame farming weapon in the game. And with the IP caps, this is also now the best in slot skinning weapon in the game. I know, but with Crypt Candle nerfing your damage to an extreme amount, and 8.4 Skinner jackets not giving you that much damage because their item power also gets nerfed. Yeah, so you're not going to be dealing that much poison damage to mobs in save zones anymore. It's literally over. You're going to have to cast spells on monsters again to skin them. I know it sucks, but anyway, I just wanted to show you guys the data, right? So again, here's the data in reverse, you know, reverse Star Warsing this stuff. And yeah, so if you're curious about my progression, or maybe SBI messes up and this is just a receipt of, you know, what they owe me. Might be safe to do, but whatever. Anyway, we're getting freebies, you know, thanks to Retro Man, I guess. I mean, he is the guy that does the balancing, so, you know, if you see him in the streets at wherever he is, I'm assuming Berlin, I don't know, buy him something. Just be like, hey, you're that Albion guy. I watch Swole Benji. You should unmute Swole Benji so he can talk to his fans, okay? It's been 5 years, come on. Anyway, that's all I got. Mwah, kiss on your forehead, and I'll see you guys in the next video. By the way, just a warning. There is going to be a mass shilling for this game starting June 27th. You're going to see a lot of other YouTubers entering the market, some of them with 50K plus subscribers. You're also going to see a bunch of little baby channels where these companies are hiring editors to make very well-edited guides and videos. Just keep in mind that a lot of these are just corporate companies. To not people with a soul. They're not an individual. I don't have an editor. I'm broke in real life. I can't afford one anyway. Stop asking me to be your editor or whatever, or you to be my editor. Okay, stop it. I don't have any money. All right, I'm just a guy, and I just make these videos for fun because I play the game and I want to be efficient at playing the game. That's it. SBI doesn't pay me, but I wish they would, because these shills that are coming on the 27th, they're making over $1,000 a video from some marketing company. I don't have the full deets, but I'm left out in the cold and the rain, so I would really appreciate it if someone donated or became a channel member. Anyway, see you later. Click the video on the right side of your screen, and if you don't, you know what's going to happen. Whenever you like get a condiment, like a jar of ketchup or something, or like a nugget sauce, and you rip open that little plastic top that keeps the jar sealed, the little rip part is going to rip, and it's not going to come off, and then you're going to have to struggle to get your ketchup opened or whatever.